Hi everyone, in today's lesson, I will talk about how to solve simultaneous equations with quadratic equation. So please turn to a new page of your notebook, write down the date of today and the learning target. And before I start, I will give you a quick revision about the steps of solving quadratic equation. So please write it down on your notes. So for example, I have a quadratic equation x squared minus 4x minus 21 equals to 0. So in this case, I can either use the cross method in factorization or formula 01 to solve this quadratic equation. Okay, so that we have x minus 7, x plus 3 equals to 0, and finally we get the final answer, x equals to 7 or x equals to negative 3. And we are going to use the technique of solving quadratic equation again in this section. And besides, in this section, there are 4 question types. And the first one is direct substitution. So as we can see, now there are 2 equations. The first one is y equals to x plus 5. And the second one is y equals to x squared minus 2x minus 5. Okay, so in this question, our target is to find x and y. Okay, so in this type of question, we can use the direct substitution. We substitute the first equation, y equals to x plus 5, into the second equation, y. Okay, so that we substitute 1 into 2, and we have x plus 5 equals to x squared minus 2x minus 5. And in order to solve the quadratic equation, we have to make one sign into 0. So that we have to put all the terms on the left hand side to the right hand side. And we have x squared minus 3x minus 10. Okay, then we can solve this quadratic equation, and we have x minus 5, x plus 2 equals to 0. And we have x equals to 5 or x equals to negative 2. Then we have finished finding the values of x. Okay, but don't forget, we also have to find the value of y, so that we have to put these 2 results of x back into the equation 1. Okay, and we have y equals to 5 plus 5 or y equals to negative 2 plus 5. Okay, so to remind you, it is because equation 1. And finally, it is equals to 10 or equals to 3. Okay, so finally we can write the results. And our result is when x equals to 5, y is equals to 10. This is one set of solution. Or when x is equals to negative 2, y is equals to 3. This is another set of equation. Let's take a look at the second type, that is change of subject. Now there are 2 equations. The first one is x squared minus y minus 2x minus 3 equals to 0. And the second one is negative x plus y minus 1 equals to 0. So we will start with the easier one. So obviously this is equation 2. So we will start with equation 2. Okay, and we will make either x or y to be the subject. Okay, so in this case, I will choose y to be the subject. Okay, because we don't have to do the expansion when we put this result back into the equation 1. And we have x plus 1. Okay, and this is the equation 3, and we finished the change of subject. And therefore, we can put this result back into the equation 1. That means we have to substitute 3 into 1. And we have x squared minus x plus 1 minus 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Okay, so in this step, we just put y equals to x plus 1 back into equation 1. Okay, so we have to do the simplification, and we have x squared minus x minus 1 minus 2x minus 3 equals to 0. And we have x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals to 0. Okay, again, we can now solve this quadratic equation, and we have x minus 4, x plus 1 equal to 0. So that we have x equals to 4 or x equals to negative 1. Okay, again, we have finished finding the value of x. Then we have to find the values of y according to the result of the value of x. Okay, so y equals to 4 plus 1, or y equals to negative 1 plus 1. And the result of 5 or 0. Okay, so finally we can write the result. When x equals to 4, y is equals to 5. And this is one set of the solution. Or when x is equals to negative 1, y is equal to 0. And this is another set of solution. So the third type of question is about separation. And now we have y squared plus xy plus 5 equals to 3y minus x equals to 4. So we have to separate it into two equations. Okay, so the first one will be y squared plus xy plus 5 equals to 4. And the second one is 3y minus x equals to 4. Okay, again, we'll then choose the easier one to start with. That is the equation 2. Okay, and I will make x to be the subject. And we have 3y minus 4 equals to x. And x will be equals to 3y minus 4. And this is our equation 3. Okay, then we can substitute equation 3 back into the equation 1. So that we have y squared plus 3y minus 4 times y plus 5 equals to 4. Okay, then we will do the simplification. Y squared plus 3y squared minus 4y plus 5 minus 4 equals to 0. Okay, so for y squared plus 3y squared, it is 4y squared. Okay, and then minus 4y, and then plus 5 minus 4, it will become positive 1 equals to 0. Okay, then now we are going to solve this quadratic equation with the unknown y. Okay, so that we have 2y minus 1, 2y minus 1 equals to 0. Okay, and we have the value y equals to 1 over 2, and this is repeated. Okay, and afterwards, for this repeated result of y, we have to put it back into the equation 3 to find the value of x. And the result will be negative 5 over 2. Okay, it is also repeated, but we have to mention it. We don't have to mention it. Okay, so finally, we have to write the results when x is equals to negative 5 over 2, y is equals to 1 over 2. And in this question, there is only one set of solution. So let's take a look at the last type of the question, that is about expansion. Okay, and in this type of question, we have to expand the equations. Okay, so now we have two equations. The first one is x squared minus y squared equals to 6. And the second one is x squared plus y plus 3 equals to 0. Okay, so again, we will start with equation 2. Okay, and we will make y to be the subject, so that we have negative 2x minus 3. And this is our equation 3. Then we can put this equation 3 back into equation 1. Okay, to substitute the y. Okay, so we substitute 3 into 1, and we have x squared minus negative 2x minus 3 square equals to 6. Okay, so for the expansion, I have to remind you about a plus b squared equals to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, so we have x squared minus, okay, negative 2x squared plus 2 times negative 2x times negative 3 plus negative 3 squared. Okay, so in this step, I just do the expansion, okay, without any other calculation, equals to 6. Okay, then we have 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Okay, afterwards, after finish the expansion, then we can remove the brackets, and we have x squared minus 4x squared minus 12x minus 9 equals to 6. Okay, and we have negative 3x squared minus 12x minus 9 equals to 6. Okay, then we have to put all the terms back into the right hand side. So we make the right hand side, left hand side to be 0, and we have 3x squared plus 12x plus 9 plus 6. And finally, so we can divide both sides with 3, and we have x squared plus 4x plus 5 equals to 0. Okay, and finally, we can solve this quadratic equation. Okay, but when you use the calculator to calculate it, it shows math error. That means there are no real roots. So therefore, there are no real solutions or no real roots. So for the remaining time, please help me to finish the classwork Quick Practice 8.1 to 8.4, and also the homework for today, exercise 8A, question 1 to 12, and for question 17 to 22, they are optional.